Hello, and welcome back to Under the Moonlight. I'm really glad you're here. If you have a few quiet moments and there's nowhere else you need to be, come and sit with me for a little while. Maybe you've got a cup of tea, maybe the house is finally quiet, or maybe you're just stealing a few moments to yourself. This time, I wanted to gently talk about something that touches most families at some point: children's transitions. And if that word feels relevant to you at the moment, whether in a big way or a small way, then stay with me and we'll chat about it together. When we think about transitions, we often picture the bigger ones first. When they're starting nursery for the very first time, or walking into a new school with a different uniform and a different teacher. Moving home and leaving behind the bedroom that's held all of their familiar things. Sometimes it's the arrival of a new sibling quietly changing the rhythm of home, and sometimes it's something heavier: a separation, a relationship that's shifting, or a loss that quietly changes the shape of the family. Those are some of the transitions that we can see clearly, the ones that feel significant even to us as adults. But there are also the smaller, everyday ones that don't look dramatic from the outside. Things such as asking a child to stop playing and get dressed, or turning the television off when they're halfway through watching a program they love, or leaving the park when they're not quite ready. And I see this with children all the time. A child can be perfectly happy, deeply immersed, and completely settled in their play, and then you say very reasonably, "Come on, let's put your shoes on," and something in them shifts. It can be tears, resistance, and frustration, and it can leave you thinking, "But it's only shoes." But it isn't just the shoes, it's the shift. Children don't measure change the way we do. They measure it by how steady and how safe they feel in that moment. And when something changes, big or small, their nervous system has to adjust. And that adjustment takes effort. And I think that one of the most important things that I've learned over the years is that preparation can reduce resistance. And so if you prepare a child before the shift happens, you can lower the emotional spike when it does arrive. So instead of just saying, "Shoes on now," try saying, "In 2 minutes, we're going to put our shoes on," and really mean 2 minutes. Because when children trust that your words are reliable, they'll begin to relax into them. And that small consistency helps to build their emotional security. And another thing that I find helps enormously is what I think of as bridging language. So the brain struggles with abrupt stops, but it manages endings better. You might say, "One more push on the swing and then we're going home," or "After this page, we need to turn out the lights," or "2 more scoops of sand and then we need to wash our hands." You're not giving in, you're just guiding them across. And that can feel very different to a young nervous system. And your tone of voice really matters too. When we're rushed, our voice tightens. So if we just say, "Oh, come on, we're late," then little bodies can tighten too. So sometimes lowering your voice, crouching down to their level and saying, "It's hard to stop when you're enjoying that, isn't it? I'll help you." That can really help to shorten the whole process, because now you're on their side, preparing them for what comes next. It's also worth remembering that if a child is going through a bigger life transition, it could be starting school, family changes, or even grief, that the small everyday transitions become even harder. Their system is already working hard. So if mornings suddenly feel like a struggle, it might not be about the morning at all. It could be about their cumulative emotional load. And in those times, it can really help to simplify things where you can. For example, laying clothes out the night before, building in a few extra minutes if possible so you're not rushing, and keeping one small ritual steady. Perhaps it could be the same bedtime story, the same goodbye phrase, or the same cuddle before sleep, because predictability lowers anxiety, and lowering anxiety improves cooperation. That isn't just a theory, it's something I've watched happen again and again. So when behaviour wobbles, as it often does during change, try connection before correction. 5 minutes of undivided attention, a longer cuddle, and a little bit more closeness, because security is the foundation, and when children feel emotionally connected, they manage change so much better. And then there's the power of storybooks. Stories allow children to explore changes safely. When they watch a character move through uncertainty and find steadiness again, their brain rehearses coping. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote The Little Grey Feather. Because sometimes children can absorb reassurance from a story more easily than from a direct conversation. And bedtime can become a quiet place where change can feel less daunting to them. There's something about sitting side by side, turning pages slowly, hearing gentle words night after night, that creates a sense of safety that goes beyond the story itself. When you read together, you're not just sharing a book, you're sharing closeness and predictability and a moment of calm at the end of a busy day. And it's these small, steady moments that help to build resilience more than we sometimes realize. They tell a child, without needing to say it directly, "You are safe here. We will get through this, and I am right beside you." And over time, those moments become part of their internal voice. And if a story gently mirrors what a child is experiencing, when they see a character being carried somewhere new, feeling unsure, and slowly finding their footing, something settles inside them. Children begin to understand, without being told directly, that change doesn't mean everything is lost, that uncertainty doesn't last forever, and that softness can still be strength. Listening to a story about transition gives them language for feelings that they might not yet be able to name. It can give hope in a form that doesn't feel overwhelming, and it can offer the reassurance that even when things shift, they are still held. Before I finish tonight, there was something else I just wanted to touch on very gently. Transitions don't stop when childhood does. They show up for us too, sometimes quietly and sometimes all at once. It may be starting something new, a different job, a new routine, or a chapter you didn't quite expect. It might be changes in your relationship, or moving home and realizing how much the old home meant to you once you'd left it. It might be watching your children grow more independent and feeling proud and a little bit wistful at the same time. Or it could be loss, or a new beginning you didn't ask for, or even one you chose but still feels unfamiliar once you're living inside it. And if we're honest, we wobble too. So if you're walking through a transition right now, big or small, be gentle with your child and with yourself. Transitions are rarely tidy. They wobble, they stretch everyone a little, and they settle, and then sometimes they wobble again. And that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means that you're adjusting. And with steady reassurance and predictable rituals and calm repeated language, children and adults can find their footing again. Thank you for sitting here with me tonight. It's been so lovely to be with you. And if you are facing any kind of transition at the moment, go gently. And I'll see you again next time under the moonlight.